They laughed when she showed up, a simple woman with calloused hands and second-hand boots. They said she'd never make it, that pilot camp was no place for a farm girl. But when thunder roared months later and an F-22 screamed over their heads, every laugh turned into stunned silence. The morning sun rolled across Cedar Valley, painting the wheat fields gold as Sarah Miller tightened the bolts on her father's old propeller plane. Grease streaked her sleeves, but she didn't mind. To her, every stain was proof she was getting closer to the sky. Her father used to say, "Those who fix planes understand them better than those who fly them." He was a crop duster, not a soldier, yet to Sarah he was the best pilot alive. When he passed away, the smell of fuel in that dusty barn became her inheritance, and her dream. While others her age chased comfort, Sarah chased clouds. She worked mornings at a diner, nights repairing tractors, every spare dollar tucked into a coffee can labeled flight. People laughed. "A pilot? You? That's cute." She never argued. She just kept saving. When a poster appeared at the local airfield, National Air Cadet Pilot Camp, enlist the best, it felt like fate. She mailed her application and waited. Weeks later, a thick envelope arrived. Accepted. She packed her worn jacket, kissed her mother goodbye, and boarded a bus that rattled toward destiny. Through the window she whispered, "Let's see if they're ready for a girl from Cedar Valley." The moment Sarah stepped onto base, the difference was clear. Polished cadets with perfect posture stared at her faded jacket. One whispered, "Is she lost?" Captain Briggs, the head instructor, scanned her up and down. "Miller, you're not on my primary list. Probably a clerical error. Don't fall behind." Training hit like a storm. Dawn drills, navigation tests, endless briefings. Sarah was quieter than the rest, but sharper. While others boasted, she memorized checklists, practiced knots, reviewed maps. None of it mattered. Her equipment was always misplaced. Simulator time accidentally reassigned. Briggs seemed to enjoy making her stumble. During formation he barked, "Cadet Miller, smile less. You're not at a parade." Laughter followed. One afternoon, during a test flight, her radio glitched mid-takeoff. She recovered flawlessly, but Briggs used it to ground her. "Reckless," he said. "We can't have amateurs risking our aircraft." The decision was final. In front of everyone, he stripped her badge from her uniform. "Pack up, Miller. This program's for real pilots." Sarah's throat burned, but she didn't break. She turned toward the hangar, toward the jets gleaming in the sun, and said quietly, "One day, Captain, I'll earn the sky you think you own." Back home, the silence was heavier than failure. The diner welcomed her back without a word. The townsfolk offered pity she didn't want. Then one evening, while refueling a plane at the airfield, she met Colonel Eli Reeves, a retired Air Force test pilot. He noticed how she double-checked every valve and gasket. "You handle that plane like it's alive," he said. "It is," she replied. "I just haven't earned its trust yet." He smiled. "You got kicked out, didn't you?" She nodded. Reeves leaned in. "Good. The system's blind. I'll teach you what real flying means, if you can take it." Under his brutal mentorship, Sarah rose before dawn to run until her lungs burned. Days were spent studying flight mechanics. Nights inside a simulator older than she was. Reeves tore apart her mistakes until nothing was left but precision. Months turned to a year. She earned her private pilot license, then advanced certifications. Her control was flawless. Her instincts, unmatched. One night, Reeves tossed her a sealed folder. Inside, an invitation to a civil military test program. "That's your ticket," he said. "Go show them who they threw away." 2 years later, the same base hosted an Air Force demonstration day, with Captain Briggs proudly in command. He strutted before cameras, boasting about his legacy of excellence. Midway through the event, the announcer's voice crackled over loudspeakers. "Please welcome our special guest, a certified F-22 test pilot from the Civilian Exchange Division." A distant rumble rolled across the horizon. Then came the roar. An F-22 slicing through clouds, silver and unstoppable. The jet danced above the runway in maneuvers too precise for show pilots. Briggs squinted. Who's the pilot? The jet touched down, tires kissing asphalt. The canopy lifted. Out climbed Sarah Miller, helmet tucked under her arm, sunlight glinting off the test pilot insignia on her suit. Gasps spread through the crowd. Briggs froze. Impossible! Sarah walked toward him, calm, confident. Permission to taxi on your turf, Captain? The crowd erupted in applause. Even the cadets who once mocked her cheered. Briggs stumbled forward, voice cracking. You're not authorized. This must be staged. Colonel Reeves stepped from the crowd, crisp in uniform. It's authorized. She's my trainee, and your lesson. Reporters swarmed. Captain Briggs, is it true you expelled her from your program? He stammered, face red. Sarah looked at the cameras, her tone steady. He did. Said I lacked the pedigree. But the sky doesn't ask for family names, only focus. Applause thundered again. The base commander ordered her to perform a live demonstration. Engines howled. The F-22 launched upward like lightning. Sarah rolled, dove, and climbed again, every maneuver crisp perfection. When she landed, she saluted Briggs. Thank you, Captain. Without your doubt, I'd never have learned how high I could go. He bowed his head. For once, he had no orders to give. Months later, the camp announced a scholarship for underprivileged trainees, the Miller Initiative. Sarah returned only once as a guest instructor. She stood beside the same runway where she'd once been expelled, watching new cadets prepare for flight. Reeves joined her, hands in his pockets. Still feels strange seeing your name on their banner? She smiled. Feels earned. A young cadet approached nervously. Ma'am, is it true you were kicked out once? Sarah laughed softly. That's right. But being grounded taught me how to fly for real. The jets thundered overhead, cutting bright trails against the sunset. Sarah looked up, eyes reflecting the glow. The sky never cared who I was, only how much I wanted it.